for this game. They're expecting a crowd of around 5,000, and it was an early arriving crowd getting here about 6 o'clock to get seats for this game. And as I said, everybody's ready. We're just a few minutes away from kickoff.
Unfortunately, the weather hasn't cooperated 100%. We're in the middle of a little rainstorm here, but the wind has died down some, so I think we'll be all right, and hopefully the weather won't affect the outcome. Both teams are primed for the game. You know, it's a traditional rivalry anyway, no matter what the records are, and with one team undefeated and the other one only having one loss, it's even a little bit more of an intense game tonight.
So I think coming into the beginning of the year, everybody's kind of hoping that both teams would be unbeaten coming into this game, but Billy Donegan and his HFL Cougars, as I mentioned earlier, snapped Caledonia's 35-game winning streak 2 weeks ago with a 1-point win. And so Caledonia coming with one loss, but anytime LeRoy and Caledonia hook up on the field, doesn't matter what the records are, you can throw them out. They're both 0-0 when these two teams line it up for kickoff.
Yeah, HFL probably gave LeRoy its toughest test so far this season also. I think LeRoy won something like 19-0, but one of the touchdowns came right at the end of the game, and HFL played a pretty strong defense against the Oaken Knights. And as you said, they nipped Caledonia on a couple of, taking advantage of a couple of fumble opportunities. Their kickoff return, they beat Caledonia by 23-22 a couple weeks ago. So it should be a good one here tonight. As I see the game, Rick, I think it's kind of like the opposite of last year when Caledonia had a senior-dominated team. They had plenty of offensive weapons with 3 good backs and a good quarterback. And LeRoy obviously had a good team last year because they went on to become the state champs, but they were maybe just a little bit less explosive than Caledonia. This year, I think it's just the opposite. I think LeRoy has the explosive attack with Novak and Garrett Geiger and Justin Osher in the backfield, and Brandon Shaughnessy at tight end, and Caledonia might be just a little bit less explosive this year, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Caledonia was hit hard by graduation. They only returned 2 starters off of last year's team. Running back Matt Capitelli, who actually played quarterback last year, he'll line up at tailback, and Jeremy Perkins. They're the only 2 returning starters back, where LeRoy, as you mentioned, returned a host of players pretty much opposite from the year before.
Right.
But, again, Caledonia every year, they get new uniforms, they graduate kids, bring new kids in, and they continue to win. Mike Monticelli has the tradition working down in Caledonia, and as I mentioned, they know how to win, and a lot of, as I said, anticipation. Looking forward to the opening kickoff tonight.
One thing about last year, Caledonia did graduate a lot of seniors, but because they won their games pretty one-sided, most of them anyway, they got a chance to play a lot of second stringers, so even though these guys weren't starters last year, they did get a lot of game experience. And of course, LeRoy got better each game last year, and so the kids that they got starting this season are experienced from on-game competition last year.
Right now, Caledonia are taking a look as they're introducing them. They're in their traveling white uniforms.
They're introducing the seniors, I think, from the Caledonia. I don't recognize it as strictly offense or defense, so I think it's all the seniors.
So we should mention tonight is the end of the regular season, and then sectional play will start next week.
Yeah, both these teams will be seated in the top 4 of their class, regardless of the outcome of tonight's game. LeRoy will probably be number 2 in Class C. Calmum could go anywhere from 2 to 4, I think, in Class D, depending on the outcome. But they're both going to have home games next week to start, as a lot of coaches think of it, as the second season, where they try to win the sectional title.
And actually, what a better way to get ready for the second season than to have a game like this tonight to go into sectional play. Both teams obviously will be coming into tonight's game fired up, ready to play. And if anything, when you have your first sectional game next week, it could possibly be a little bit of a letdown, because now that they have 8 teams starting off in each classification, your first game, if you're number 1 or 2 seed, you could go in against a team that's only 1, 2, or 3 games.
Yeah, I looked at the Class C rankings in the paper earlier this week, and actually, if LeRoy is 1 or 2, they're going to draw 7 or 8 seed, and I think most of those teams have losing records, and they're like 2 and 4, 2 and 5. So you probably won't get a real stern test the first round. Caledonia, on the other hand, as I said, their position is kind of undetermined yet. So they could, if they finish 4th in their class, they could draw the number 5 seed. Theoretically, it could be a pretty good game for them.
Right now, they're introducing LeRoy in their home black jerseys with the white trim.
LeRoy's got an outstanding offensive line led by junior tackle Pat Shaughnessy, who goes about 6'4", probably about 275, 280 at least. Then they got the Shaughnessy boys, Brandon at tight end and Dave at right guard. And usually when LeRoy needs some yardage, that's where they go, behind that massive right side of their line. So we'll have to watch for that and see what happens. I don't think either team will put the ball in the air much tonight. even if it wasn't raining,
yeah,
neither team is known for its passing.
Right, that's a good point you brought up. I was thinking earlier it was, raining a little bit. The light mist really now, but really should not have a lot of effect on tonight's game as far as the passing game goes, because if it was 85 degrees and sunny out, we're playing on a Saturday afternoon, neither of these teams is really going to bother putting the ball up in the air. Both of their tradition is to run the football. That's what we're going to see tonight. So again, the rain not going to have an effect on the passing
earlier
game.
tonight when the wind was really blowing, a lot of, the wind might affect the kicking game or something like that more than the rain's going to affect the passing game. If either team passes the ball tonight, it'll probably be as a real surprise weapon or out of desperation, one of the two.
All right, they're finishing the introductions. We're going to take a short timeout. We'll come back for the opening kickoff between the Caledonia Mumford Red Raiders and the LeRoy Knights right after this quick timeout. Rick Krasinski back with Larry Reed. We just had the opening coin toss. Caledonia having all their players out there to represent them. You see Brandon Shaughnessy, David Shaughnessy, Eric Geiger, and Zach Dillow running off the field for LeRoy. And you caught who won the coin toss, right?
I think Caledonia won the toss and deferred to the second half, and so LeRoy's going to receive the ball. And, of course, Caledonia will probably traditionally try their squib kick. It backfired on him over to HFL the other 2 weeks ago. That was return for the winning touchdown. Is that Charlie Hoffman made a nice pickup and found a hole in the front line and galloped all the way down for the touchdown that won the game for him. Well, that and the two-point conversion won the game for him. But I don't think Caledonia's abandoned it despite that setback. It should be number. Let's see. You got to line him up here. It looks like Rich Simeone, number 30. Thought it was 70, Joe Kingsbury, but it's number 30, Rich Simeone, has got the ball in his hand.
Back to receive the kick for LeRoy, Eric Geiger wearing number 25.
He's actually got a tee in his hand, too. Maybe they're going to change strategy here.
He's got it flat down.
He's got it flat, but usually they just put it right on the ground. They didn't even use the tee, but looks like they've got a tee out there tonight.
All right, so here we go. That everybody's been waiting for is just about set to go, and we're underway. It's a bouncy kick taken by Brandon Shaughnessy at the 40. Shaughnessy breaks the tackle. He's into the 35, 30, down to the 25. Big start for LeRoy. Brandon Shaughnessy taking the opening kickoff. And for LeRoy, it was a squib kick, but took a nice hop, and then he broke through that front line and had some running room.
Almost a repeat of what happened over to HFL. Same type player. Charlie Hoffman, a tight end, picked the ball up, and he's used to running with it after he catches it. Brandon Shaughnessy gives excellent field position to the Knights. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Center Zach Dillow wearing number 56 lines up over the ball. It's going to be Tommy Shaughnessy, Eric Geiger, and I believe Ryan Novak back from an injury in the backfield. Geiger on the first carry, though, was tripped up for no gain.
Nafnagle for Calmum, number 50, a linebacker, made the tackle.
Ryan Novak is in the backfield. Missed last week's game with an injury, but he is starting tonight. And Casey Haynes bringing the play in from the sideline. As LeRoy will have a second down and a long 8. So a gain of almost 2 on the play. Casey Haynes splits out wide to the right. LeRoy running out of wishbone. Junior Justin Osher wearing number 20 is the quarterback, and Osher with the ball. Osher getting forward to the 20, a gain of a couple on the play, but it's going to leave LeRoy with a 3rd down and about 6.
Of course, with that excellent kickoff return, they're in 4-down territory right away, so they don't have to worry about, what they're going to do on 4th down. I doubt if, although Mike Wyman could maybe kick a field goal.
There is a new twist this year. Mike Wyman, who played soccer last year, is the kicker for the team, and he has pretty good range.
Establish something, unless it's like 4th and long.
3rd and 6 from the 21. Osher going to hand off Novak right side. Novak spinning, twisting down inside the 15. That's going to be close.
First down, I think.
Should be enough, but let's see where they're going to spot the ball. It's right on the 15-yard line, and it is enough for a first down. So a big run by senior Ryan Novak picking up the first down for LeRoy. And LeRoy has a first down and 10 from the Caledonia 15-yard line.
Novak missed last week's game with a damaged ankle, I think, that he hurt in practice. He may have been able to play, but they didn't want to risk a further injury and miss tonight's game, so they held him out.
So LeRoy with a first down and 10 from the 15. Osher going to give it to Novak. And Novak busting it down inside the 10. Now, I was thinking, Larry, this backfield this year kind of reminiscent of a few years ago when Joe Miller and Tommy Caledonia were back there. Novak, the power runner, and Geiger with the speed on the outside. If he gets around the corner, nobody's going to catch him, and that's what they had with Miller and Caledonia.
And you notice they're going, like we said in the pregame, they're going to that right side behind Brandon Shaughnessy, Dave Shaughnessy, and Pat Ashley most of the time.
Second down and a long yard to go for LeRoy. Ball just outside the Caledonia-Mumford 6-yard line. Counter play, Novak right side again, has the first down, and he's in for the touchdown, a late signal, but Novak takes it in for a 6-yard touchdown run. So it didn't take long after Brandon Shaughnessy returned the kickoff to the 25.
Well, that's Caledonia. If they can't stop the run, there's going to be a long evening because LeRoy just moved the ball right down the field that time. Most of the damage done by Novak, and that's going to make it tough for the Red Raiders if they can't stop the run.
Yeah, once Novak got his first carry, went right side, they just kept going back to it.
Weinman in to kick the extra point.
Snap is down, the kick is up. And the kick is good, so Mike Wyman putting it through to give LeRoy the extra point. And LeRoy, with 9 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in this opening quarter, have taken a 7-0 lead.
Of course, Rick, the key to that was the kickoff return that Brandon Shaughnessy made. Caledonia's squib kick, like you said, took a nice bounce, and Shaughnessy caught it full stride and just took right off. He almost went all the way. He got bumped off stride a little bit, and I think it was number 30 that came over and made the tackle. But excellent field position.
So for LeRoy, they did just what they wanted to do, get in the opening kickoff and take it in and take a quick 7-0 lead over Caledonia. And we should mention, Larry, LeRoy has not beat Caledonia in 6 years. The last win coming back in '89, a 7-0 win. So LeRoy, last year, state champions, they had one blemish. That was against Caledonia. So I'm sure they want this game bad tonight to make up for some defeats the last few years.
Yeah, anybody who's followed this at all knows that in the papers, the Batavia paper, the Rochester papers, they had a history of this series ever since, it came right after the creation. I think they started playing, and they know that Caledonia has a slight lead in the overall series, and of course since '89, I guess, was the last LeRoy victory, but LeRoy would be favored, I think, tonight if somebody was looking at this as an impartial observer.
And again,
there aren't too many of those around. That's why it was hard to think of it.
Right, but as I said, again, LeRoy returning a lot of players. Caledonia, just a couple starters on both sides of the ball. That's the reason why. Mike Wyman, a low kick, bouncing, is finally going to be picked up at the 30. Brandon Shaughnessy in on the tackle.
Well, Caledonia's going to start just short of their 40-yard line, about the 37-38, so not too bad field position. I don't know if that was a squib kick or if Mike just missed it a little bit. Returned by number 20, Mike Cox.
So Cox, one of the upbacks, getting the ball out to the 37-yard line. So Caledonia bringing their offense on for the first time in tonight's game. Will have a first down and 10. They'll start their first drive from their own 37-yard line. Quarterback, it'll be number 12, Ryan Zimber. As I mentioned, Capitelli, the quarterback the last couple of years, they moved him to tailback this year. And Capitelli is the guy LeRoy's going to have to watch wearing number 34. And it's Capitelli getting the handoff. Capitelli trying to get around the corner. He does. Capitelli all the way out to the 50. There are flags all over, though. And they're throwing in a bad spot if you're a Caledonia fan.
Yeah, I saw a couple of flags come in late. One from the referee and one from the linesman. Nice run by Matt Capitelli. Most of that was on his own. But it looks like it's going to come back.
They said the way they threw it,
clipping.
9 out of 10 times, it's going to be a clip, a hold. Once in a while you get a face mask out there, but the way they were coming in, it looked like it was going to be that holding or clipping, blocking from behind type penalty, and that's what it's going to be, is they're going to walk off the yardage against Caledonia.
Caledonia, I don't think they can afford to make these kind of mistakes and put themselves in a hole like this because Capitelli had made a nice run. I think he had got enough yardage for the first down. Now, instead of it being first down around midfield, they're back and facing first and 20.
Yeah, he hit it into LeRoy territory. He was down to about the 47-yard line. So as you mentioned, instead of having the first down in LeRoy territory, you're back to your own 29-yard line, where you're left with a first down and about 20 to go. So Caledonia on first down after the penalty. Fumble on the play.
I think Osher got it. Osher.
Pat Ashley was in there before Zimper had time to turn around and make the handoff. Ashley making the hit. The ball was loose, and as you said, Osher jumping on the football. So things going the Roy's way early in this one. And for Caledonia, not at all how they wanted to start off tonight's game. So the penalty really working against Caledonia, Larry.
The penalty hurt him, and then, of course, you can't afford, I don't know if the wet ball had a factor or not, but if LeRoy takes it in here again on the ground, that's going to put Caledonia in a real deep hole real early.
Osher's going to keep it on the quarterback sneak, and Osher's all the way down to about the 25-yard line. We've got the markers on the far side of the field, kind of hard to pick up.
Gained about 6 on that play. It's just short of the 25. They start about the Cal-Mum 31, so it's going to be 2nd and 4.
And again, as you mentioned, no surprise for Caledonia. LeRoy's going to come out running this football, and Caledonia is going to have to start bringing the defensive backs probably up a little tighter to try to stop the run as LeRoy is starting to move the ball. Osher on the counter play. Novak, right side, has the first down. And Novak drives all the way down to the 14-yard line.
Nice little fake there to go going left, and it came back with Novak on the counter to the right. Tackle made by Matt Capitelli, and he was the last guy to make the tackle. If he didn't get tackled.
And there's a Caledonia player
A little shaken up on the play.
On the far side.
It's going to be first down for LeRoy at about the Cal-Mum 14-yard line.
Well, one thing that Novak said out last week with the ankle injury, so far it hasn't looked like it's bothered him all in tonight's game. He's getting good drive off it. After he's hit, he's still getting the 2nd and 3rd effort.
Well, like I said, I think he could have played last week if it was absolutely necessary, but they knew that they were going to be playing a tough team this week, and they thought that maybe they could let him sit out. As that might be Matt Capitelli that's shaken up. He's the one who made the tackle. He's their main ball carrier, so it looked like he got just a good stick on that, and I probably got a little groggy. But if he's out for very long, Caledonia's going to be in a more serious situation. Number 34 is Matt, and I think that's who it was that went out.
So LeRoy has it, first down and 10 from the Caledonia 14. Geiger's going to get left side this time. Geiger breaking the tackle. If he gets around the corner, he's going to go. Geiger is in for the touchdown. 14-yard run, and LeRoy is quickly on top, 13-0.
Nice run by Eric Geiger. Once he got around that corner with his speed, nobody was going to touch him, and they scored easily. There's two kind of I don't hate to say easy, but they were pretty easy for LeRoy to push the ball in there twice.
So that's the problem Caledonia is going to face tonight. Not only do you have to stop the power running of Novak inside, you got to be careful of the speed of Geiger outside.
Well, like I said earlier, that's what makes them so dangerous this year, the fact that they can go either way.
And Wyman's kick is up and good again. So Mike Wyman with a 2nd extra point, and LeRoy now with a 14-0 lead with 8 minutes still to go. So we've only played 4 minutes in this game. LeRoy taking the opening kickoff, Brandon Shaughnessy running it down to the 25 before Ryan Novak eventually took it in for the first score. And now Eric Geiger on a 14-yard run after Justin Osher recovers the fumble that Pat Ashley caused. So LeRoy 4 minutes in with a 14-0 lead.
Nice solid offensive work there by the Knights as they just hammered away. And I think now with those 2 touchdowns, they're probably even more confident than ever that they can move the ball whenever they want to.
Well, like you said at the beginning, there anytime Caledonia and LeRoy play on the football field, there's no record. It's 0-0, whether one team's only won 4 or 5 games or it doesn't make a difference. And for LeRoy tonight, as you said before, yeah, they're probably favored by 2 or 3 touchdowns coming in, but really doesn't mean nothing. But for them, the good start, they got the 2 touchdown lead, and now they just got to make sure they don't forget there's still a lot of football left in this game.
Oh, yeah, and Caledonia's got to regather their composure and start all over again and forget the score and just try to get something established and try to play their game. It's a long way to play, like you said. We've only played 4 minutes. That was definitely a squib kick.
Ball rolling free, and it's taken by Caledonia at about the 30-yard line.
That was another squib kick. That definitely was a squibber, and nobody wanted to pick it up for Caledonia. Finally, it was covered at about the 30.
So that must be a set play then tonight. Is the first one the same way. Actually, that's one thing, Larry. Last week in the Attica game, they were giving them some yardage on the kickoff return, so they're probably coming in tonight and figuring, okay, we'll just squib it down there and try to pin them back. And if it's inside the 30, they'll take it.
I think they did it even it was even a softer kick to avoid that big hop like Brandon Shaughnessy got on the opening kickoff.
Caledonia, the first down and 10 from the 30, and right in on the tackle right away was Steve Sava wearing number 44. So Caledonia, the last two offensive plays have not had any time at all.
Well, that was Matt Capitelli, who was back in the game, and he was hit almost before he got the handoff by Steve Sava. Drove him back for about a good 4-yard loss, almost 5 yards.
But again, as in the previous play, Ashley was in there before Zimmer could even make the handoff, and that time, as soon as Capitelli
watch
got
the LeRoy linebackers, they're coming right up behind the down lineman, and one of them or two of them are going every time.
Second down and about 15 for Caledonia. And Ashley jumping off sides, so at least for Caledonia. They're going to pick up the 5 yards that they lost on the penalty.
I didn't see anybody on Caledonia move. We don't have a real good angle, but I see the Caledonia players clapping, so it must be it's against LeRoy.
And there's the call going against the Knights, so Caledonia will get the 5-yard walk-off against LeRoy. They'll bring the ball out to the 31-yard line, where the Red Raiders with Caledonia will have a second down and 9. In case you're just joining us, LeRoy jumping out quickly with a 14-0 lead, 7 minutes, 14 seconds
Looks like the rain's picked up a little bit, too, in its intensity as we look across the field against the lights over there.
Quarterback Ryan Zimber wearing number 12. Caledonia running out of the wishbone. Second down and 9 for the Red Raiders. And again, a handoff, but no running room at all. They tried to run right side.
That was number 30, I believe, Rich Simeone, who carried the ball for no gain.
Shane Gardner wearing number 23, Rich Simeone number 30. They join Capitelli and Zimber in the backfield for Caledonia. And now Caledonia finding themselves with a third down and a long 9 to go to try to pick up the first down ball right on the Caledonia 30-yard line. And again, Ashley's in at the bottom of the pile along with David Shaughnessy, number 52.
Rick, they're just killing Caledonia off the ball. They're in the backfield before the quarterback has a chance to do anything. And I don't think it's all blitz either, because a lot of it's the defensive linemen. They're just popping right through there.
Ashley and Shaughnessy, defensive linemen, as you said, getting right in. Caledonia with no running whatsoever. Loss of just about 6 on the play.
Looks like this is Adam Capitelli, who's punting for Caledonia.
Kick is away. It's going to hit down at about
We're out of bounds over there, Bo. Didn't quite make it to midfield.
Now he's walking he's walking all the way down to the 38-yard line.
And so once again, LeRoy's going to take over in good field position.
So the kick going out at the 38. Stopping the clock with 5 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. LeRoy with a 14-0 lead over Caledonia. Should mention, Larry, the 100th year of football. The celebrations are going all year for the LeRoy Knights.
Next week hopefully at the home sectional game, they're going to have some kind of a celebration, I understand, put on by the LeRoy Sports Boosters. Here comes Novak.
Novak right side, cutting inside, and Novak getting down to about the 32-yard line. Gain of just over 5 on the play. Joe Loft is wearing number 22. He'll alternate with Casey Haynes, his split end, to bring the plays in from the sidelines. He comes in with the second down and 4 play for LeRoy.
There's a play that didn't look like it made much, and he ended up getting 6 yards.
I was thinking the same thing. I'll take 6 yards. Anybody will take 6 yards on first down.
Usher on a sneak. He dropped the ball.
And
Caledonia
gets it back, so a big break that Caledonia needed as they recover the fumble, as LeRoy took over after the punt with good field position again. But Caledonia recovering the fumble. We'll have to see, Larry, if the Caledonia offense try to get something going here. They had a nice run by Capitelli around the end that came back because of the holding penalty.
But now the last few plays, they haven't been able to even get anything started because of LeRoy's defensive penetration. You got Brandon Shaughnessy, Pat Ashley, and Dave Shaughnessy up there along with number 52. And that looks like Brandon Longany on the far side over there.
Well, 52 is David Shaughnessy. You got number 62. 62, Danny Sava.
Okay, 52 and 62, right.
Caledonia running out of an I formation this time with 2 wideouts. Zimber rolling to the right, looking to throw. Zimber getting the pass away, and it's incomplete.
He was under pressure from Dave Shaughnessy. Got it away, but it was a little bit high. The receiver couldn't make the catch.
Pass was intended for his tight end, number 13, Brian Grant. But as you said, Zimber under some pressure did get the pass away. Incompleted pass, stopping the clock.
Caledonia better hurry up or they're going to get a delay of game penalty here.
4:54 remaining here in the first quarter of play. Caledonia with a 2nd down and 10. Time the backs are split behind Zimber. And it's going to be Rich Simeone, but he was met by Saber right at the line of scrimmage. And Rich Simeone nowhere to run. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's going to be it. Actually, going to spot the ball right back on the 25, so it's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. And again, Larry, the Raiders faced with a 3rd down and 11 situation. You get a 3rd down, you want to have a 2 and 3, and they've been forced into 3rd and long the first few series.
So far, except for that first play, their offense hasn't been able to do anything with the ball, and most of that can be attributed to LeRoy's defense, I think.
Capitelli and Simeone split behind Zimber. Zimber pitching back to Simeone, quick kick it. And it hits down at the 47, rolling right inside LeRoy territory, where it's going to be down by number 23, Shane Gardner. But again, LeRoy getting the football back with good field position as they're going to start this drive
right. The first play that's going to start in LeRoy's side of the field.
And it's barely inside,
by about a
49.
foot.
Rain continues to fall. Not a real hard rain, Larry, but coming down good enough that they'll start making the field a little slippery as it continues to fall. Again, LeRoy running out of wishbone. Osher handing off Novak. Right side. That time he was met right at the line of scrimmage.
Joe Kingsbury, I think number 70, linebacker. Yeah, that's who it was.
Joe Kingsbury was right there that time, and Novak unable to move him too far. Got about a yard on the play as he got the ball into Caledonia territory to the Caledonia 49.
He's 2nd about 9 here.
We should mention, Larry, we got Donnie Higgins running the camera for us tonight. He's stepping in to tape tonight's battle between Caledonia and LeRoy. Counter, Geiger. Geiger's not going to be able to get outside that time, though.
Oh, nice tackle over there. I couldn't see who made it. There it is, number 69. I think that's John Steele, if I remember correctly.
John Steele is 69. But he got caught, Geiger, in the backfield at about the 47, so a loss of almost 4 on the play.
3rd down. This is the first 3rd down for LeRoy. Let's see if they go to the air, if they're just content to run the ball, and see if they can make something, maybe with a little counter, or maybe a little bit fancier play than they've been running here.
Yeah, last week they had a 4th down and about 10 play. I think from about their own 40 against Attica, went for it, and ended up Geiger scoring on the play.
Well, you know, it depends on the situation of the game and who you're playing and stuff like that. Now, I think if it's 4th down here and they're going to punt the ball and try to put Caledonia in a hole. Here comes Osher on a rollout.
Osher's going to keep it, trying to cut back inside, but he's hit right at the 50.
Nice tackle by Capitelli that time.
Capitelli there on the hit, along with number 64, Chris Pangrazio, also went on the tackle for Caledonia. So a gain of about 3. That's going to leave LeRoy with a 4th down and 10 with the ball right at the 50. So one thing, too, Larry, with a 14-0 lead.
Novak will probably punt the ball and try to put Caledonia down inside their 20 and see if they can force a turnover. We still got 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Good snap. Should be all right to get the kick away.
Novak, low line drive kick hitting down to the 28. Brandon Shaw's here to cover up. The ball rolls inside the 20 down to the 19.
I don't think Caledonia even had anybody back today. It didn't look like it.
So Caledonia's going to have a 1st down and 10 from their own 19-yard line. 1 minute, 53 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. LeRoy with a 14-0 lead over Caledonia. That's LeRoy trying to stop a 6-game losing streak to Caledonia.
Well, they got off to a great start with that kickoff return, and then the penalty that hurt Caledonia, and then a fumble, of course. So far it's been all Owacken Knights.
All right, so the Red Raiders with a first down and 10 from their own 19. Zimber pitching it back. Capitelli left side trying to turn the corner. Capitelli is hit by Osher along with Zach Dillow, the linebacker, number 56. Did manage to pick up about 4 on the play.
Well, that was he got outside. I thought maybe he could turn the corner, but good pursuit from inside by the LeRoy linebackers. Cut that off with a short gain.
Clock continues to run. We're down to 1 minute, 15 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Caledonia with a second down and 6. Running out of the eye, Simeone lined up at the fullback, Capitelli the tailback. Pitch, going to go back. Capitelli right side, trying to foul his blockers, looking for some running room. He's not going to find it.
Got a couple, maybe a yard or so, but that was it. LeRoy just strung that play out as he went around the right side. Finally, there was no place left to go, and he had to try to make a move, and he got tackled. Maybe gained a yard or so on the play.
Yeah, at the most. LeRoy did a good job that time stringing the play out. Capitelli unable to find a gap to cut it up. And they just said maybe picked up a yard, but it's going to be third down and a long 5 for Caledonia.
Now that was a nice, like you said, defense play by the LeRoy Knights, as they just kept holding their ground and running sideline to sideline, and when Capitelli tried to cut it up, they were there.
All right, Caledonia coming up to the line of scrimmage. Going back to the wishbone on this play. Simeone going in motion to the left. Zimber fumbles the snap. The ball's free, and it looks like LeRoy might have gotten it, and they do. David Shaughnessy gets up from the bottom of the pile with the football, and LeRoy with the fumble recovery. So just like Larry, when it looked like Caledonia was starting to settle things down after getting in a hole quickly, another bad break for them.
And I was just going to remark, too, Rick, looking at the monitor, the rain looks like it's really coming down pretty good now. Whether that had an effect on the fumble or not, we don't know. But regardless, LeRoy's going to take over on the 21, 22-yard line?
Yeah, right about the 22, where it's going to be first down and 10. Osher, Novak, right up the middle. Novak with some running room. And that's going to be the final play here of the first quarter as Novak gets the handoff. So we completed one at Hartwood Park. The LeRoy Knights off to a quick start are going to take a 14-0 lead into the second quarter. We'll take a short timeout and come back right after this. Rick Krasinski back with Larry Reed. We completed one at Hartwood, and LeRoy has a 14-0 lead over Caledonia. Novak did pick up the first down as he got the ball down to the 12-yard line. So as we start the second quarter, if they switched ends of the field, LeRoy with a first down and 10 from the Caledonia 12. Time going more with a power eye. Geiger lined up the tailback. It's going to be the inside counter to Novak. Novak, not a lot of running room that time. Kingsbury in on the tackle. You know, Larry, though, but he still managed to pick up close to 4 yards, which means the offensive line's getting the push.
Before he got touched, but that means the line is getting into the defense and pushing him back before he ever gets touched. It looks like it's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Unfortunately, the line of scrimmage moved 4 yards against Caledonia. We're down to 11.5 here.
LeRoy with the second down and 6. Again, Novak, right side, as the pile moves closer to the Caledonia goal line.
They've gone left maybe 2 or 3 plays, but most of that's right behind that beef on the right side. They don't blame them.
No,
why not?
You run a play and you run it until somebody proves you can stop it. That Novak counter to the right side's been working all night long. Novak picking up another 4, almost 5 yards. LeRoy going to have a third down and a long yard to go to pick up the first down.
First down at the 2, touchdown 3 yards away. And don't be surprised if they go right again.
Oh. It's going to be Geiger left. Geiger breaking one tackle, trying to get around the corner. Can't do it, though. Let's see where
he might have got the first down. Somebody had a shot at him in the backfield and couldn't quite bring him down, and then he got knocked out of bounds. I think he's short. think it's going to be 4th down, but real short.
Again, it's LeRoy on Caledonia that time doing a nice job stringing it out, keeping Geiger contained that time so he couldn't get around the corner.
They're going to measure.
They're going to bring it out.
Well, where would you go, Rick, if it's 4th and a foot?
Counter right, Novak.
I don't think there's even counter. It's just power right. If it's not Osher on a sneak, it's power right.
And that's what I said earlier. It's tough when you got 2 running backs like Novak and Geiger back there, and they do pick up the first down.
You got it.
You start bringing the linebackers in, you bring the safeties up a little bit, and then all of a sudden, if you get Geiger going around the corner, you're in big trouble. So you got to be conscious of that as well.
1st and goal from the 2.
LeRoy with a 14-0 lead, looking to try to get their 3rd score of the night. And as you said, Larry, a 1st down and goal with the ball just inside the Caledonia 2. Novak to left, Geiger to the right. Osher's going to keep it.
Look at that pile move.
And Osher is in for the touchdown. We'll call it 2 yards for the stats.
But did you see the whole offensive line? They could have pushed probably another 3 or 4 yards if they needed it. Zach Dillow, the 2 guards, Shaughnessy and Brian Licata, Ashley and Bill McKenzie, they moved everybody back.
So Mike Wyman out to try to tack on his 3rd extra point of the night. The snap's down, the kick is up, and it's blocked. So the extra point, no good, but again, LeRoy scoring their 3rd touchdown to take a 20-0 lead.
Well, it's been all LeRoy so far. They've taken advantage of some opportunities that Caledonia gave them, a couple fumbles deep in Caledonia territory. And obviously Caledonia can't afford to do that. They're going to have a tough enough time to get back in this game without making mistakes. So it seemed like you said earlier, Caledonia may have settled down a little bit there and held LeRoy once, made him punt the ball, but then they fumbled it right back to him, and LeRoy took it in. So,
you got to remember, LeRoy had scored 2 touchdowns the first 4 minutes into the game. And as I said, I thought Caledonia starting to settle it down a little bit. They were running a few plays, starting to work a little bit. Then the fumble hurt him. LeRoy takes advantage, takes it in for the 3rd score. And now Caledonia finds themselves down 20-0.
Let's see if they do a little better job on this kickoff. The last 2 kickoffs, they kind of let bounce around and bounce around. Nobody really wanted to pick the ball up, and the second one they had to end up just diving on. So that hole right in the middle, if you look at the Caledonia receiving formation, there's kind of a pocket in there, and that's where the ball's been going.
So Mike Wyman teeing it up at the 40.
Rain's coming down just as hard as it was earlier. It's going to make the field real treacherous, I think, which obviously would favor, since LeRoy's got the advantage up front, looks like it's going to favor them.
I was just going to say, as you mentioned, it is coming down harder, and LeRoy, that 20-0 lead, everything's starting to really work against the Raiders now. That kick.
Fumble a little bit by Matt Brand, number 33, picked it up.
Brand looking for some running room. He'll get out to about the 35-yard line. So Caledonia desperately needing to move the football now to try to get into the end zone.
Yeah, they need to do something offensively here before halftime. We still got a long time to go, 10.5 minutes, but they need some kind of an offensive drive. Hopefully, if they could get some points on the board, I'm sure that would help their confidence. But if they get stopped again and LeRoy takes over and scores another one, I think the party's over. It's awful hard to come back against LeRoy if you're down 4 touchdowns.
So Caledonia with a 1st down and 10. They'll start from their own 35-yard line, running out of the wishbone. And again, nowhere to go. There's 3 or 4 LeRoy defensive players there to make the tackle.
LeRoy's defensive pursuit, their penetration of pursuit is outstanding. And on a slippery field, it's going to be awful hard for Cal Mom to get outside.
I think it was Mike Cox getting the handoff that time. He ran on the far side of the field. Again, Brandon Shaughnessy was there with 3 or 4 other LeRoy players. And a loss of a yard on the play, leaving Caledonia with a 2nd down and 11. Split end, Chris Mitchell wide to the right on the 2nd down and 11 play, running out of the wishbone.
Oop,
and
Caledonia
left guard jumping off. That's going to cost Caledonia 5 more yards. So things not going well at all for Caledonia here in the first half of tonight's game.
They're making, mistakes they can't afford to make, whether they be penalties. The penalty on that first play where they had a nice gain, and then, of course, 2 fumbles, and now a penalty here is going to make it 2nd and 16, and it's going to make it real tough. They haven't been able to find a weak spot in that LeRoy defense yet.
Should mention the overflow crowd in the press box tonight.
Well, with this rain coming down, I can see why the seats are up here are very valuable.
So second down and now almost 16 yards. Handoff left side. Brandon Shaughnessy again on the tackle. Capitelli, I believe, get in the handoff that time. We've had so many people up here, Larry, before, and everybody covering tonight's game that throughout the year, Dean Giacomelli's been here to entertain the crowd with his music, and they kept blowing the circuit breaker off, and Dean had to unhook.
Well, if this game keeps up and the rain keeps up, he could probably have it back in the second half. I think the crowd is going to be thinning out real soon.
Third down and about 16 to go for Caledonia. Zimber rolling out to his right. Getting the pass away, and it's overthrown. Pass was intended for his tight end, Brian Gratton. And that's going to leave Caledonia now with a fourth down situation as they bring the punting team on. Clock stopped, 8:38 to go. Talking to Bob Martin, Mr. Caledonia himself earlier this week, he said, sure, you're going to cover the game after Caledonia's beaten them 6 times in a row. LeRoy's going to be favored tonight. You're going to cover the game. I said, hey, it's the 100th year of football. It's all part of the celebration festivities.
I knew you'd worm your way out of it somehow. You didn't want to argue with Bob, did you?
No. Mr. Caledonia football. He did give me a lot of the statistical information coming into tonight's game.
Oh, there's a shank punt.
On the side of the foot. And again, LeRoy's going to have great field.
Now they're going to have it inside of about the 40-yard line.
They'll put it at about the 39-yard line. Everything going in LeRoy's favor so far in the first half of tonight's game.
Tonight puts extra meaning in when it rains, it pours, as far as Caledonia is concerned. The weather's pouring out, and also the breaks are going against the Raiders. But again, LeRoy is making a lot of those things happen with their defense. So we've still got 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter, and LeRoy's looking for their fourth score.
Tommy Shaughnessy in at fullback.
Got a flag somewhere here. Either somebody lined up in the neutral zone or somebody flinched back there on the offense. It's going to be against Cal Mum, I think. Somebody lined up in the neutral zone.
Actually, for LeRoy, it's been Osher, Novak, and Geiger. They haven't ran Sava or Shaughnessy, the fullbacks, at all tonight. But again, Larry, with the way Novak's been going primarily, and Geiger with a couple good runs, too.
Well, they're using Shaughnessy in there right now.
Sava's
playing a lot of defense. He's played a couple offensive plays, I believe. There he goes right there. They must have heard him.
There is Shaughnessy.
Gain of about 4 there.
And coming after the 5-yard walk-up, it left him with a first down and 5. Shaughnessy picking up 4 yards down to the 30, where it's going to be second down and 1. But again, the story so far this game, Larry, has just been the offense and defensive lines for LeRoy.
That's right. Their size and experience is just, taking control of the game, I think. The backs have done a nice job, but I think the line is the key to the game so far. Their defensive line has penetrated into Caledonia's backfield. Their offensive line has just pushed Caledonia off the ball.
Here's Eric Geiger, left side, trying to follow block. Geiger pushed out of bounds. He has the first down and more.
Fans are howling. They thought it was out of bounds, but with this weather like this, it's hard to tell where the yard line is, and it wasn't really that much of an out-of-bounds tackle, I don't believe.
Geiger knocked out at about the 21, so another first down for LeRoy. 7 minutes, 42 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. LeRoy on top of Caledonia by a score of 20-0. Novak on the right side.
Tackles made, getting up off the bottom there. It's hard to read the numbers now. They're getting covered with mud. Looks like it's number 30, Simeone, on the tackle. Novak picked up about 4 on that play.
And as we mentioned, the sectional game last year, Rich Simeone, an ex-LeRoyan.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, played his Little League days had some great coaches back in Little League. Let me leave it at that.
He'll beside you where the coaches. I can read right into what you're saying. I've done so many of these games now, I can read your mind.
There's not a whole lot to read in that, is there?
There's Geiger.
That time tripped up.
Looks like Simeone again.
Yep, Simeone. As you said, the number is getting really hard to read for Caledonia.
Maybe a gain of about 1 on that play. It's going to be 3rd and maybe 4 yards.
LeRoy definitely in 4-down territory as they are down to the Caledonia 15.
Yeah, with the score the way it is and the field position, LeRoy will go for it, I'm sure, unless they want to try a field goal. But I don't think they will.
I tell you, having a field goal kicker can come in really handy as you get into sectional play.
Well, can.
Novak right side again, picking up a couple. It'll be
going to be close. Maybe about a yard short.
Again, maybe we're repeating ourselves on this, but even it looks like he doesn't get anything. He gets up off the pile, and they move the line marker 3-4 yards.
Well, it's 4th and about 2. Any guesses what they're going to do? Last time I guessed right, and he went left, so I'll stick with it. I think they're going right again.
Yeah, but, you know, why break consistency
How about it
years?
won't be a pass?
I do believe that. I hope they throw a pass now. Little play-action pass.
Well, if it is, it'll go to Shaughnessy. I'll predict that.
Yeah, now you're covering your bases.
No, I said it won't be a pass.
Okay. Osher back there. 4th down. LeRoy going to go for 4th and 2. Osher rolling right. Going to keep it. Hitting the backfield. Breaking one tag. He's not going to break the second one.
I don't think that was a pass.
No,
I think he was going to run it.
It was pretty much, I think he was going to take it, try to get around the right side, but he was hitting the backfield drop.
To get out of there with that, with the wet conditions. He slipped a little bit coming off from under center, and then he couldn't get around the corner. Caledonia was there to knock him a little further back, and then he was finally tackled. So Caledonia stops that drive and takes over on their own, looks like about on their own 20-yard line.
They were hoping to be here because the cheerleaders are supposed to be performing at halftime, and I'm sure the band is scheduled to be on, but with this rain coming down the way it is, I don't know if that's going to change. If they do, we'll stay here. If they don't,
we'll go.
Exactly. Okay.
Good
so
prediction.
Caledonia does have the ball. 1st down and 10. They'll start off their own 21-yard line. And again, no running room at all.
They're losing yardage there. They can't get anything started. LeRoy's defense is just stacking everything up.
Campitelli get in the handoff, but it's kind of tough, Larry, no matter how good of a back you are, and Campitelli is a really good running back, but he is getting no room at all.
And of course, they're keying on him because they know he's Caledonia's main offensive weapon. And if they can stop him, they figure make Caledonia go to some other backs, then they've already gained half the battle right there. And right now, they've stopped him pretty well, except for that first play.
Loss of a couple on the play, putting it back to about the 18-yard line. 2nd down and 12 for Caledonia. Caledonia running out of wishbone. And again, Zimper is hit by Ashley. The fumbles. Ball still loose. Touchdown, LeRoy.
See if we can see who picked it up.
I think it might have been Eric Geiger finally. Yeah. But give Pat Ashley the credit. It was Ashley again hitting Zimber as he turned around trying to make the handoff. So an 18-yard fumble recovery, no run at all. The
first Caledonia guy dove on the ball, and it just was like grabbing a grease pig. It slid right out from under him, and then it rolled in the end zone, and there were all kinds of LeRoy guys on it then. But I think you're right. I think it was Eric Geiger that picked it up. But as you said, the quarterback fumbled that, but he had no chance.
He had no chance at all. Pat Ashley was in the backfield before Zimper really even had a chance to get the ball into his right hand to hand it off. So LeRoy, after missing the...
Oh, wait a minute. We got a reversal here. Looks like Caledonia still has the ball.
Well, somebody signaled a touchdown.
Yeah, there was a signal, but it's...
But you're right, because Simeone's quick kicking.
Not very far, however. It looked like my tee shot. You see that ball come down and spin right there? It went about as far as my tee shot.
But one of the officials did signal a touchdown, didn't they?
I thought he did, over on the far side.
So we'll scratch the touchdown off.
Scratch the touchdown. Must have been a 3rd down and long, and Caledonia tried a quick kick.
So the score is still 20-0, LeRoy, with 4:21 remaining here in the 2nd quarter of play. But again, after that short kick, LeRoy with great field position, as they're going to start off with a 1st down and 10.
At the Caledonia 15, I believe.
It's right on the 10-yard line, just the nose of the ball outside the 10.
There's Novak.
Novak breaking tackles all the way down to the 1.
First guy hit him at the line of scrimmage, couldn't bring him down.
Novak picking up close to 9 yards on the carry. So LeRoy not recovering the fumble, but now turning around quickly, Larry, and they're knocking again.
Well, I think they delayed the inevitable by about a minute. That was about all they did.
Ball marked at about the 2-yard line. LeRoy can pick up a first down. The nose of the football, he had to be just shy of the goal line. Osher had trouble with the snap.
Well, you can see that ball is slippery. He had trouble with that when it popped right up. Fortunately, he was able to grab it.
He did a nice job hanging on to it. As he lost it, got hit right away. But Osher did manage to hang on to the football. It's going to be a loss on the play.
They're back to about the 3, I think, now. So they've got 2 downs to score an extra point. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the first half, which has been dominated by the Oaken Knights.
They could actually pick up a first down without getting the touchdown. Right now it's going to be 3rd down. And about 3.5 to go.
Somebody
Osher keeping it. And there goes the pile again.
I thought the left tackle from LeRoy slipped and fell, but the referee's down on his knees trying to see if he crossed the goal line or not. It really looks like he didn't. They're going to wait for time to either measure. Looks like they got to measure, maybe.
As I said, they could pick up the first down. The nose of the football would have to be about 3 inches from the goal line for them to get the first down.
I saw Bill McKenzie, LeRoy's left tackle. He kind of went down to his knees. I thought he was before the snap, but apparently he just tried to push off and lost his footing. So it wasn't any penalty called.
And they are going to bring the chains across. Stretching the chains out.
Must be really close.
4th down.
No, they didn't quite get it.
So it's going to be 4th and about 1 inch for the first down, 4th and about 3 inches for the touchdown. So right now for LeRoy, the main thing is going to have to get that snap off.
Yeah, I think if they can handle the snap, they'll get the touchdown. It's just a matter of not losing possession on the snap.
We've seen both teams having some trouble with the snap tonight. And again,
now the rain's let up a little bit too.
But still coming down, and by now that field's been soaked pretty good. You can see it playing some havoc with the snap on the exchange from the center to the quarterback. So LeRoy on 4th down and about 1 inch for the first down and a couple inches for the touchdown. Running out of the wishbone. Osher keeping it himself, driving forward.
He's in.
Touchdown, Justin Osher. So now they make the score 26-0.
Like we said, that's the safest thing to do when you're that close with that line in front of you. Just give it to the quarterback, and as long as he makes the connection with the center, they probably are going to score. They might go for 2 here since they missed the last one, although I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. They're going to take a timeout and talk it over.
So LeRoy taking the timeout. 2 minutes, 39 seconds remaining until halftime. And Justin Osher on the 1-yard quarterback keeper has given LeRoy a 26-0 lead.
And LeRoy has pretty much totally dominated the first half, both sides of the ball. Their offense has been able to move it, except for a couple of fumble mistakes that they had, and then their defense has really stymied Caledonia pretty much totally. I don't think Caledonia has a first down at all. The one that they had early in the first quarter was called back on a penalty, and I don't think they've had one since then.
Yeah, they were expecting 4,000 to 5,000 for this game, Larry, but already it looks like some of the crowd is starting to thin out.
If you look at the bleachers across the way, there's a lot of empty seats over there, and they were pretty much full at the start. And then the LeRoy side's pretty much full still, but that's understandable, you know. But the Caledonia people, I think, have started to head home.
So LeRoy taking the timeout, deciding whether to go for the 1 or the 2.
I think they're going for 2 here.
As you mentioned, they did miss the last kick as it was blocked, so LeRoy going to try to pick up the 2 points.
This might be a pass.
You will be right eventually.
I said, but it's not here.
It's a pitch to Geiger. Left side, Geiger
Touchdown.
Getting it in
Extra
for
point.
the extra point. So Geiger getting the 2 points has given LeRoy a 28-0 lead. And I do see the band on the far side, so
halftime entertainment?
I think they're going to be coming out, Larry. They're gamers. They're gamers, and they're going to come out
in their white uniforms and plastic coverings. Nice uniforms, though. I saw them up close. They're very nice.
I tell you what, though, they are pretty impressive. They've really come along. And I hear them practicing a lot since I'm not that far from the school. I can hear them at night practicing out in the parking lot till dark.
Well, let's see what happens here. We got a little over 2.5 minutes to go. I can't see Caledonia trying to throw the ball to pull out any miracle plays here, at least not unless they have, you know, maybe the last second or so if they have one chance to go at the end zone. But what they don't want to do is give LeRoy another score.
LeRoy on top, 28-0. And Mike Wyman has it teed up, ready to kick once again. Again, keeping it low. And it's going to be taken at the 20. And finding some running room is number 83.
Nick Palma.
Nick Palma. Palma out to the 46-yard line. So the ball kicked low, but getting through to Palma. And then Palma finding some running room. I guess that's been the one thing that LeRoy's had some problem with this year is defending the kick return.
Well, that may be why they've gone to that squib kick. You know, that usually gives you a little bit better coverage on it. Although we saw tonight how Brandon Shaughnessy, it depends on the bounce you get. But LeRoy's doing a nice job. They're kicking it down the middle of the field, and it's kind of dying down there before it takes that big hop. Artificial turf is a lot different. The ball reacts a lot differently.
Just saw a shot of the rain coming down here still.
Well, we got 2.5 to go here. Caledonia down 28-0. Would like to get something on the board if possible.
Caledonia coming out this time, running out of the I formation. Zimmer getting hit. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Capitelli. Capitelli breaking 2 tackles, and Capitelli with a nice run.
That was a first down. That was a great run there. First of all, he had to feel the ball on a hop. I thought maybe they'd call that an incomplete pass. It almost looked like he threw it forward.
But again, Zimmer was hit as he was getting the pitch away. Did a good job just to get the ball back to Capitelli. Then Capitelli did a nice job breaking a couple of tackles. I said he's an excellent running back. He hasn't had much chance to show it tonight. And a run right there, though, did show what he can do as he broke a couple of tackles, picked up the first down as he got it down to the LeRoy 43-yard line.
We're down to just about 2 minutes here. Yeah, you're right. That was a nice run by Capitelli because he got hit pretty hard right about the line of scrimmage and then broke that tackle and went on for another 4 or 5 yards. And delay a game.
All right, so Caledonia picking up the first down, though, and then turning around and getting hit with the delay penalty. It's going to cost them 5 yards and move it back to the 48.
They've been pretty close to that a couple times, I think, getting the play on the field because it's a trend nowadays. You see it almost all the high school games I've seen, too, where the quarterback goes right over to the sidelines. I know in Livonia, when I watched the Livonia game, their quarterback was really slow getting back to the huddle. And out of that 25 seconds they get between plays, he must have taken a good 10 or 12 before he got back to the huddle.
So the 5-yard walk-off, leaving Caledonia with a first down and 15. Zimber rolling to his left, looking to throw, getting the pass away.
Ooh.
And his receiver goes down.
There's interference, I think, right there. Interference on either Longany or number 20, Osher, because they hit Capitelli. It wasn't intentional or anything, but they did hit him before when the ball was in the air. And in high school, that's a 15-yard penalty.
Actually, at least for Ryan Zimber that time, he had some time to get the pass away, too. So there's been a few times on the handoff he's barely gotten away, but that time rolling out to his left, he had some time to get the pass away. As he said, the penalty flag's coming down. The walk-off will be going against LeRoy.
That should be about give first down because they had a 5-yard penalty.
Right. Should be right at the
right at about the 33-yard line.
If they walk it off right, it should be anyway, because you had the 5-yard penalty, as you said, on first down, and now a 15-yard walk-off from the line of scrimmage. And they move the chains.
I see
down.
with your Syracuse apparel on here today.
That's all I
probably didn't wear it the first 2 games, did you? And they lost a... Now we got a little timeout here by somebody. Cal Mom's taking a timeout. They're on about the 33. It might be a chance for them to a minute and 45 seconds to come up with something to get on the board. Have a little confidence booster going in at halftime. Getting back to Syracuse, you didn't wear it the first 2 games, but you've worn it since.
No, I wore it. That Minnesota loss really hurt them, though.
Yeah, that's true. The Virginia Tech win was a good one. And then they haven't really played varsity teams the last 2 games, have they?
What happened to Pitt? I mean, they were national champions, what, 23, 4 years ago?
Tony Dorsett was there, maybe, but
I think they would have trouble.
I don't know how old Johnny Majors is, but he's got to be aging rapidly.
They were absolutely terrible.
So you're a season ticket holder down at the Dome, huh?
Yeah.
What year is your daughter down there now?
She's a junior.
Okay.
My son's going to Lemoyne, so with all the family in Syracuse, besides moving there, I figured I might as well do that, yeah.
You're paying for half of it anyway.
Yeah, exactly, so might as well enjoy it while they're there, so. Well, they had so many players coming back from last year's team, and then they got off to the loss against North Carolina, who's a good team.
Yeah, that wasn't surprising.
That's a good team, but Minnesota, again, they should have won there. A couple fumbles hurt them. Anyway, back to the action here. Caledonia, first down and 10. Simeone going a motion to the left. Zimber rolling to us, a flag on the play.
I think somebody moved early.
Yeah, when they blow it dead like this, it's going to be an offensive call. You said somebody moving.
I thought I saw Capitelli flinch as he was lined up at the tailback spot. It looked like he was just about a half a count early. And the referee threw the flag, and he's standing right next to him, so he must have seen it too. Going to make it 1st and 15 now. We're down to the Cal-Mum 38-yard line. Minute 39 to go. And there's...
So after the walk-off, Caledonia now they first down and 15. It's the ball back at their own 38-yard line. Caledonia running out of the eye. Zimber rolling to his left. He's going to keep it himself this time. Zimber finding some running room. Ashley chasing him down at about the 32-yard line.
Zimber got back to about the original line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit more. He's back to about the 33. We're down to a minute to go here. Officials timeout. Looks like Zach Dillon may have got banged up a little bit coming out of the game for a play. Looks like he's holding his hand there. He may have got stepped on.
So you're in better position tonight to see the clock. Usually you're stuck in the back somewhere, but so you're in charge of the clock.
Okay, 58 seconds, and they're winding. There comes Adam Capitelli into the lineup for Caledonia. Now, I haven't seen him play offense all year. He's a freshman. He's Matt's younger brother, and he usually plays quarterback, and that's where he's going right now. Now, where did Zimber go? Did Zimber go out of the game?
Capitelli,
Matt Capitelli might be the better thrower, possibly. There's a movement there by LeRoy that time.
I think LeRoy's going to get hit with the 5. I think they jumped across. What's that with the clock to? 38 seconds
20 seconds for a penalty. I'll see what they're going to say here. Referees are offside against the Knights. Yep.
Yeah, they jumped into the neutral zone. So Caledonia.
My guess would be they put Adam Capitelli in to throw the ball. He's a little bit bigger and maybe a little bit better thrower. He hasn't played quarterback much, but I'm sure the coaches have an idea that he might be a better thrower, so we'll see.
5-yard walk-off, putting the ball down to the 28-yard line, but Caledonia desperately needing to get into the end zone here, Larry, before the end of the half. They trail 28-0 now.
And looks like Capitelli's still in there.
Shane Gardner split out wide to the right. Here comes the reverse, fake reverse. Capitelli's going to keep it. Capitelli right side. Capitelli dragged down from behind by Ryan Novak.
No, they're going to keep it. No, they're calling time. I thought one referee started to signal.
Well, there's only 1 second left on the clock, so Caledonia had a chance to run one more play. Novak making the tackle on Capitelli as he managed to get a good grab on the back of his jersey to drag him down.
That's it.
And that was the last play, so he must have not gone out of bounds.
I think the referee said they'll keep the clock running, and then they stopped it to move the chains because it was a first down. And then when the chains got set, they started up again.
So both teams going off the field. LeRoy with a 28-0 lead over Caledonia after the first half there. So pretty much so far it's been all LeRoy in this game as they got off to a quick start, scoring 2 touchdowns in the first 4 minutes of tonight's game, and they take the 28-0 lead in at halftime. Rick Krasinski back with Larry Reed, Hartwood Park, and LeRoy, and it's been all LeRoy as we completed the first half of play. LeRoy with a 28-0 lead over Caledonia, Larry, in the first half, that everything going LeRoy's way.
Well, they got the breaks. They took advantage of them. Their line on both sides of the ball was dominant, and I don't think there's any question about who's the better team in the first half tonight. I mean, it wasn't even close. So Caledonia's got a little pride. Maybe they'll try to come back and make themselves a game of it. I think it's going to be difficult for them, but let's see what happens here.
Well, as you just said, I'm sure they're going to come out and not going to give up until the last second of the game. They'll keep plugging away. Osher making the tackle at about the 32-yard line. Caledonia will get the ball to start the second half of play. They'll start off with a first down and 10 from their own 32-yard line. But again, the story of the game there so far, as we mentioned earlier, the offense and defensive line of LeRoy. Pat Ashley on defense has been in the Caledonia backfield before the handoff can be made on 3, 4, 5 different times already in that first half of play.
No, that's true. I'm sure Coach Monticelli went in there at halftime and told them, forget the first half, let's go out and play Caledonia football the second half and see if we can, get something going, just to make ourselves feel better. And of course, they, like I said before the game, next week they start the second season, and both of these teams are going to be involved in that for sure.
So Caledonia, the first and 10 as we get this third quarter underway.
Quick pitch.
Going back, Capitelli, good running room. He's going to have the first down as he gets out to about the.
But even on that play, it looked like LeRoy almost got to the pitch. I intercepted it, but he got it out there, and Capitelli picked up some yardage.
But again, and I'm sure as you mentioned, Mike Monticelli at halftime saying, hey, we've got a whole half to go. Let's go out. Let's start moving the football a little bit. And you still do have 24 minutes of football remaining in this game. So Capitelli picking up the first down for Caledonia. First down and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Fumble. Ball's loose, still loose. And Caledonia has it back. I'll tell you what, picking it up for Caledonia was number 32, Chris Mitchell. And I don't know if he was really down.
Well,
he would have had some running room.
Referees thought he was, one way or the other.
That ball kept squirting free before Mitchell finally recovered it for Caledonia. So the good news for Caledonia, at least they do keep the football.
Yeah, they made too many mistakes in the first half with the penalties and the fumbles, and they started out with a good play here to start the second half, but then the fumble gives them now second and 10.
But again, Mitchell alertly, though, picking that loose ball up there. He almost had a chance to make the play, but they said his knee was on the ground, so it'll be second down and 10 for Caledonia, running out of the eye. Zimber is in at quarterback, number 12. Zimber rolling out to his right, looking to throw, getting the pass away, and it's incomplete as it was intended for Mike Cox. The pass overthrown. That's going to leave Caledonia with a third down and 10 play coming up.
Obviously, that ball has got to be a little bit damp out there. I mean, that ball squirted out of his hand. It was a tough throw anyway, running to his right and throwing on the run, but the ball kind of looked like he squipped out of his hand and was overthrown by quite a bit.
So a third down and 10 play coming up for Caledonia. Splitting out wide to the right is Mike Cox, wearing number 20. The backs are split behind quarterback Ryan Zimber. Zimber pitching it back. Simeon with the quick kick.
Blocked by
Dillo. Zach Dillo getting in there, and the ball rolling out of bounds to the 28. So even a quick kick by Caledonia not working as Zach Dillo got in to block the punt of Rich Simeon. And again, LeRoy taking over with excellent field position as they'll have their first offensive possession here in the third quarter of play.
Things aren't going good when you have a quick kick blocked.
That's exactly what I was
element of surprise.
Right, the whole
get
purpose
the kick off, right.
of the quick kick is to do that. Nobody's back there to field it. You get the kick, you get some free yards. But Zach Dillo was in there quickly, managing to block.
I'll tell you something, Rick. If LeRoy punches one in here, if I'm Coach Mike Monticelli, I might think about resting Capitelli for a while, because there's no sense getting him beat up tonight if the game is out of hand. And if the third quarter ends with LeRoy ahead by 25, 30 points, I think it would be considered out of hand. Maybe I'm being a little bit too conservative, but I know nobody likes to admit the game is lost. But
well, as you mentioned, now after this week's sectional play starting, and that's going to be the important time for all teams that are going to be involved in sectional play starting next week, because then it's when you continue to play. If you lose, you are out, and you don't want to have your best players banged up.
That's right, and like I said, if the game is out of hand, and right now it's on the verge of being out of hand, so if it's going into the fourth quarter and we're down, if I'm down 35-0 and I'm Coach Mike, I'm going to think about resting him a little bit, giving some of the other guys a chance to play anyway, and then not risking him getting hurt.
Novak again on the carry, getting it down to the 20. It's going to leave LeRoy with a third down and about 3 coming up. But again, coming into tonight, Larry, we mentioned right at the beginning, LeRoy returning quite a few players from last year's state championship team, where Caledonia was only returning 2. Caledonia, though, only losing one game, a 1-point loss to HFL a couple weeks ago that finally snapped their 35-game winning streak. But again, LeRoy
the comparative scores would indicate that LeRoy had a stronger team. I mean, they beat Livonia pretty handily. They did beat HFL 19-0, and Calamum lost to them. So you had to consider LeRoy the stronger team. And Caledonia was hoping for a good night, which they haven't had.
Third down. Here's Novak again, right side. Novak's going to be close to the first down, depending on where they spot the football. And he's going to get the first down, so the chains being moved once again. And again, right from the opening kickoff, Larry, Brandon Shaughnessy took it down to the Caledonia 25, where 4 plays later, Novak took it in for the touchdown, and LeRoy was quickly out front, and then they scored again a couple minutes later.
Yeah, I had my own stats, and I checked with a couple of the other guys up here that had stats, and we had LeRoy with about 15 to 20 yards total offense in the first half, and Caledonia was anywhere, depending on who you talk to, between 0 and maybe 10 yards positive offense. So that's an indication of how the game's gone.
Novak again with the carry, taking it down to about the 12-yard line. Pickup on the play of about 3 yards, leaving LeRoy with a 2nd down and 7.
That right side of LeRoy's line has just been dominant from Zach Dillo playing center right on over to Brandon Shaughnessy. And when they have gone left with Geiger a few times, they've done all right going that way too.
Well, they got that right side. They said Dillo's the center. Zach Dillo's the center. David Shaughnessy, number 52, is the guard. And then Pat Ashley, number 79, the right tackle. Brandon Shaughnessy, the tight end, number 88. A lot of size on the right side. And Novak, a power running back. Here's Geiger. Left side, Geiger trying to turn the corner. Geiger in for the touchdown. A 12-yard run for Eric Geiger. And Geiger's touchdown opening up a 34-0 lead for LeRoy.
Mike Wyman's in to try the extra point here.
Snap is down, the kick is up on the way. And
it's good, kind of a line driver, but it went through there.
So Mike Wyman taking on the extra point, making it a 35-0. I think one thing, Larry, for LeRoy coming into this season after they won the state championship last year and returning so many players, the question was, hey, are these guys going to be able to stay focused, or are they going to live off what they did last year? And I think so far this year,
they've got some good internal leadership from what I've seen. I know most of the kids, and Brandon Shaughnessy and Zach Dillo and some of the other seniors have made sure, I think, that the focus was where it should be. And of course, having the Caledonia game at the end of the season helps keep you focused too, because they always know that's going to be a big game. So there's no sense, letting things go astray earlier. They've done a good job tonight.
Yeah, the defense only giving up, I think it's like 5 points a game. They're averaging somewhere around, 25, 30 points a game.
And I think Coach Moran will be the first one to tell you that, he's gained a lot of knowledge from his association with Mike Monticelli as far as, preparation for the state tournament and stuff. He said that last year. I'm not giving away any secrets.
No, he admitted it. With Mike Monticelli, it really helped him out a lot.
Not with the strategy of the game so much, but with the things to do ahead of time to get your team focused on what's going to happen down at Syracuse and Fauver and so on. So,
ball returned by number 83, Nick Palma.
There's a lot of respect between both head coaches for the other guy's program, and it's deserved by both men.
And one of the classiest things that happened last year at the Caledonia, when LeRoy came out, Caledonia stayed on the field to kind of, as they came out of the field, slapping the hands and telling them good luck before the game.
There's only really one night a year that they're enemies. The rest of the time they're rooting for each other. That's right.
And as a matter of fact, Zach Dill in the paper talking about how a lot of these guys are friends off the field. And that's true. They're all football players. They're all athletes. They know each other. They play against each other. And, off the field, yeah.
It's like your buddy there, Jim Kelly, was talking about Frank Reich today on the Sports. He said that he had a great deal of respect for Reich, and he thought a lot of him. But next Sunday he's enemy.
And again, not much running room there. Yeah, I guess Bruce Smith walked into the conference when they had Frank Reich on the phone and said hello to him, and Frank told him to take it easy on him this Sunday. And that's what Bruce Smith said. Yeah, well, we're good friends, but
not
for 60 minutes
not from
Sunday.
4 to 7 next Sunday, right?
No gain on the play. Caledonia going to be left with about a 2nd down and 10. Caledonia running out of the eye. Handoff going to the tailback. It's number 31, Josh Hayes. Hayes getting the handoff. So right now, Cavatelli not in there.
Well, I don't know if what I said is, you know, Mike's strategy or not, but I like I said, I wouldn't be looking past that.
Again, the last time LeRoy had defeated Caledonia was back in 1989, a 7-0 score. It's Caledonia winning the last 6, so LeRoy looking to snap that streak and keep their unbeaten season going. Zimber back to pass, has to pass away, and it's caught by his tight end, Brett.
Nice catch there. LeRoy almost had a hand on that.
Getting it out into Caledonia territory, just over the 50-yard line. So a first down for Caledonia. It's the ball into LeRoy territory now.
The first time they've taken the ball into the LeRoy side of the field. I don't think they did in the first half. Second time? Mr. Dillo, our cameraman up here.
No, didn't Cavatelli...
Did he? I don't... Yeah. Oh, yeah, right before, right before the half, they got down there, didn't they? I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. So, okay.
So a first down for Caledonia. Zimber rolling to his left, looking to throw, getting the pass away, and caught again, and that's going to be close to another first down.
Number 32, Chris Mitchell, made the catch for Cal Mum.
And it was enough yardage for another Caledonia first down as Mitchell, with the pass reception, getting it down to about the 39-yard line. So a gain of just about 11 on the play for Mitchell.
The traffic is thinned out here. We had maybe about 4,000 people here, but probably a half hour before the game started.
Half hour before, about an hour before. Here's Zimber again, this time rolling to the right, getting the pass away, and again it's caught, this time by number 20,
Mike Cox.
Cox knocked out of bounds, a couple yards shy of the first down. They're going to mark it about the 32-yard line. Caledonia needing to get to the 29 for a first down.
I have to admit, Rick, that's the first time in a long time I've seen Caledonia throw 3 straight passes.
And they've been successful.
I've seen a lot of their games in the last 4 years, and that's the first time I can remember throwing 3 straight passes.
Well, it's worked 3 straight times, though, too, so.
Well, they weren't running the ball real successfully, so why not?
Caledonia running out of the eye behind quarterback Ryan Zimber. Zimber rolling out to his left, looking to throw again, getting it away, and again he has his receiver, number 23, Shane Gardner. So now it's 4 in a row and 4 completions in a row.
About a half a yard short of a first down, I think.
Now they got it marked right on the 30, and he has to get down to probably close to the 29-yard line. So for Caledonia, it's going to be 3rd down and a yard to go to pick up the first down. 3 minutes, 57 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. LeRoy with a 35-0 lead over Caledonia, but Caledonia moving, looking to get their first points of the night. 3rd down and 1. Zimber, draw play. Gets the handoff away. It's going to be a first down.
Josh Hayes
with the carry. And Josh Hayes looks like he found enough room for the first down, and he did it. They moved the chains once again. So Caledonia put a nice little drive together at the end of the first half, Larry, and now their best drive of the night so far here.
They're down to about the LeRoy 28-yard line, which is about their best field position.
Ball spotted at about the 28. And now Caledonia taking a timeout.
A little confusion on that formation, and number 80 didn't seem to know which side he was supposed to split out on, so the quarterback took a timeout. Jeremy Foster. Looks like he's only been in a few plays because his jersey is all clean.
Well, we said at the beginning it was a really festive mood here tonight and the crowd arriving early. There was people already sitting in their seats at 6 o'clock for a 7:30 kickoff, and a big crowd. But now with the score 35-0, really it thinned out. The rain's been coming down pretty steady throughout the game. The only thing that really didn't work well tonight was Dean Giacomelli couldn't play his music for everybody as all the power kept going out tonight.
Well, they've got a lot of radio and TV things hooked up here and an extra refreshment stand. And like I said, this field was not designed for the modern technology that's here. So somebody had to go. And I think Dean was using more power than anybody else, so he got the nod.
The worst part is that we play some great stuff. I was looking forward to it. I like listening to his stuff here during the game, and unable to do that tonight.
Calmum's got 1st and 10 from the LeRoy 28 here. 3 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
So after the timeout, Caledonia ready to go. 1st down and 10. Zimber again, back to throw, getting the pass away.
Oh,
and knocked away at the last second.
Pretty good coverage there by number
32 for LeRoy, Andy Palladino, back in coverage.
Yeah, pretty good coverage there. He got a hand in there and knocked it away. That ball was pretty well on target.
But Palladino at the last second getting a hand on it to knock it incomplete, and that'll leave Caledonia with a 2nd down.
You got to check that one. That might be a record for. Oh, they ran the draw play, didn't they? I thought that was consecutive passes.
Yeah, Hayes picked up the 1st down on the draw. There's 4, I believe, 4 consecutive passes before the draw.
With all the statistics they keep nowadays, probably somebody would have that, you know.
Oh, Elias up. I'm sure they got it somewhere.
The most consecutive passes by the Red Raiders in the decade of the 90s.
Backs are split this time. Pitch going back. Rich Simeone looking to run. But Brandon Shaughnessy was right there to drop Simeone in the backfield.
Loss of about 4 or 5 on that play.
Gonna put the ball back on the 33-yard line. It's gonna leave Caledonia with 3rd and about 16 to go to pick up the 1st down. So Caledonia starting to put something together here, but now Simeone dropped by Shaughnessy for the loss, and all of a sudden Caledonia finding themselves a 3rd down and 16 after the incompleted pass.
Of course, you know, Mike talked about Monticelli maybe resting Cabatelli. If I have Coach Moreno, I'm going to think about resting some of my first stringers too.
Yeah, especially at this point in the game. You don't want somebody getting hurt now, that's for sure. Zimber rolling out, looking to throw, getting the pass away. He has a receiver, and it's caught. And going, out of bounds at about the 2 was Chris Mitchell. Chris Mitchell looked like he was going to get in, trying to tightrope down the sideline, unable to do it, and just knocked out of bounds at about the 2-yard line.
About a 31-yard pass play then. If they were on the 33, I didn't see, he just lost his balance. There wasn't anybody there to knock him out. He just couldn't quite stay in bounds.
You know, Zimmer's been getting some time to throw, and he's throwing a nice pass here.
Well, I don't think LeRoy's doing as much blitzing as they were earlier either. They're dropping back more into coverage. It's like you see in the pros where they go into this prevent defense. All you do is prevent the game from getting over.
So right now, Caledonia knocking as they have the ball down at about the LeRoy 3-yard line. 1st down and goal for the Red Raiders. Zimber again dropping back to pass. Passes away and deflected and incomplete, so there'll be no interference.
I thought maybe they go back to the running game down here that close to the goal line.
Once that pass is deflected, there can't be interference on the play, and that's why the referee was signaling that the pass was tipped, because there was some contact in the end zone. But once that pass is deflected, it's live and can't have an interference penalty. So the incompleted pass leaving Caledonia with a 2nd down and goal from the 3. Caledonia looking to get their first points of the night. Running out of the wishbone. Handoff, Simeone. Simeone's in for the touchdown. So Caledonia getting it in a 3-yard run by Rich Simeone.
Caledonia will kick because I haven't seen them kick a point all year, so it's not that they're, they just don't have that in their repertoire. They're going to go for the 2. Nice drive that time.
That was a real nice drive.
Keyed by the pass, too.
So Caledonia going to go for the 2. Never keeping it again, looking to throw.
Intercepted, no, incomplete.
So the extra point probably no good, but Caledonia does get their first points of the night. And with 1:31 to go here in the third quarter of play, LeRoy with a 35-6 lead over Caledonia.
I didn't really notice it, but I didn't see Matt Capitelli in on that last drive, and I don't think he got hurt. At least if he did, I didn't notice it. I think he may have been just resting him. But let's see what Coach Moran does here with a minute and 30 to go in the third quarter if he comes out with his first offense. He may for a few plays, depending on the field position. But like I said, Novak's been banged up a little bit. I might think about resting him some because you're looking forward to another, if you're going to go all the way to the Dome, you're looking at 5 more games. Maybe 6. What is it? They played, this is the 7th. They're looking at 6 more games.
Right, so, yeah, you got a whole half season to go if you get all the way back there again.
If you're thinking of that, and I'm sure they got to have that in the back of their minds. They're not going to say it, but they're thinking it, I'm sure, both teams. Till you lose.
Well, I mean, coming into the season, you win the state championship, you have a lot of players coming back. Your goal is, we're going to go for it again. There's no question about that. What you have to be careful about, though, is you got to still play the regular season, and then when you get into sectional play, it's still, you lose a game, you're done. So you can't overlook anybody. Right. And the interesting thing is, for LeRoy, they could actually go into sectional play as the number 2 seed. Even
well, they probably will. Although I think East Rochester, I think, believes played Savannah, and
if East Rochester win or did win,
and LeRoy wins, I think LeRoy's going to be about a point behind him, because Caledonia's a D school, so they don't. They get the ball on the 40 on that baby, I think. That went out of bounds.
But again, being number 2 seed is really no different than being number 1 seed. I mean, if everything works out, the number 1 and 2 play, and you play it fall.
They're both going to be undefeated. It's just a matter of who plays bigger schools, and ER being in Monroe County plays bigger schools. Looks like Coach Moran's going with his second group here. See a lot of fresh shirts out there.
Well, as you mentioned, too, especially now with the 35-6 lead, you're under a minute to go here, or you're 1:31 to go here in the third quarter.
That kick went out of bounds, so I guess it didn't. They get the ball. I thought they got it on the 40, but it looks like they're getting it where it went out of bounds.
I thought it was supposed to be like 35 yards from where you kick it. But nonetheless, LeRoy does have a first down and 10.
It's like Chad Clark, number 10, maybe, who carrying the ball that time. They got some new backs in there. I think that was Chad.
We'll have to pick up some new numbers there. No, it was Andy Palladino, number 32.
Okay, Chad Clark's 10, and he's the other back in the backfield I saw in there. Number 22 running at quarterback,
Joe Loftus. Palladino picking up 4 yards on the play, getting it out close to the 40, so it's going to be second down and about 6 for LeRoy.
Counter play
again, Palladino, right side. Palladino getting it out to midfield into Caledonia territory, down to about the 49-yard line. So the same play we saw Novak run continuously in the first half. Andy Palladino taking it right there and picking up a first down for LeRoy.
It could be one more play here in the third quarter with 45 seconds to go. Nice little counter play that time, got first down yardage. Notice the middle of the field, Rick, has my initials on it?
Yeah, I noticed. That was nice that he did that for you, wasn't it?
It's 100 years of football. I'm almost 100 years old, so they thought they'd,
So Larry's going to be doing the game. Let's, let's recognize it. No gain that time.
Caught at the line of scrimmage there by a host of people. Caledonia has some new players in there. They're bringing people in off the bench here, 1 or 2 at a time, as both teams are pretty much going with their second groups now.
Chad Clark did get the carry that time. Chad Clark wearing number 10. Andy Palladino's number 32. Joe Loftus, the quarterback, number 22.
It'll be second and 10, and that should be the end of the third quarter. There it is right there.
Completed 3 quarters of play here at Hartwood Park. You take a look at the scoreboard. LeRoy on top of Caledonia by a score of 35-6. 35-6. LeRoy on top. They'll switch ends of the field. And starting to see, Larry, a lot of these second-team players now getting some playing time.
Well, there comes a point. I think both coaches realize who the game is over as far as determining the winner, and I think they're both thinking about, like we said, they still got half a season to go if they're thinking about going on through the sectionals into the state tournament. So there's no sense getting somebody banged up on either team when it's a 35-6 game, one of your key players, maybe, costing you a shot to go a little bit deeper into the state tournament. So the outcome was determined, I think, in the first half when LeRoy's line dominated both sides of the ball. And now it's a chance to let these other guys get into a game, get a little experience and rest some of your starters, keep them from being banged up for the rest of the season.
So things have been going LeRoy's way tonight. But as we mentioned earlier, LeRoy will break a 6-game winning streak that Caledonia had against them. Caledonia, should mention, Larry, also have won 17 out of the last 22 times these two teams have played.
Well, that's, they've had a good run down there, and it goes in cycles. Caledonia had a long upswing, and now, we got a flag on this play. Somebody lined up in the neutral zone, probably.
Should mention, Bob Martin did write that down for me to make sure I got that.
Yeah, well, Bob's a good man. I play golf with him every week, and, we go over these things. We talk about them. I tell him what he can tell you.
He was one of the main persons responsible for those new lights they put up in Caledonia after they got rid of the 100-watt light bulbs.
Well, we're just not quite technologically advanced,
Ball spotted at the Caledonia 45-yard line. LeRoy, the second down and about 6.
They lost a little bit on the first down, so that 5-yard penalty only really gave them about 4 yards of...
Mikey Steyer wearing number 40 in fullback.
There's a good hit. Number 66 for Calmum.
Jim Gilman making the hit on Palladino.
Gain of about maybe a yard or so on the play, maybe 2.
Chad Clark and Ike Steyer in the backfield at the same time together. Should mention they had some pretty good Little League coaching too.
Okay, who coached you there? Was it Mr. Higgins?
You're between the two of them, I'll tell you that much.
He coached the left-handers, you coached the right-handers, or what?
That's about it, yeah. It worked out pretty good that way.
Oh, that didn't look right, did it?
No, the right side jumped, but there was no flag on the play.
This guy over here must have been asleep.
Loftus had trouble with the snap, but boy, it sure did look like the right side took off, unless the snap came and Loftus wasn't really ready for it, but it definitely did look right.
Well, LeRoy, I think, sending in the punting team. I see Ryan Novak back there to kick the ball away.
Yeah, luckily, 4th down and about 6. Ball
Adam Capitelli, number 35, dropping back for the Raiders as Coach Monticelli's yelling instructions over there.
Good snap, kick away, going to the right side. And it's taking a good LeRoy roll all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Brandon Shaughnessy hovering over it. No. Didn't want anybody to see picking him up, down there with him hovering over the ball.
So last time Caledonia had, they put a nice drive together, got it into the end zone. But now they're going to start back from their own 10-yard line.
You see a lot of new jerseys in there now for both teams, so coaches are giving everybody a chance to play here. Yeah. And you watch both of Coach Moran and Coach Monticelli, they'll be coaching right to the end of the game, trying to make sure that the players who are on the field are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Just because the outcome is determined. Here comes 3 more clean jerseys in for the Raiders. Of course, they only have 8 on the field, so I guess they need 3 more.
Should mention again, it coming up at halftime, coming up this Friday night, the first sectional game for LeRoy. As they'll have a lot of the old coaches coming back as the 100 years of football celebration continues here at Hartwood Park.
Yeah, I understand that several of the coaches.
It's even mentioned tonight that Vanilla Thunder Jim Lemline might make it, even though that's not really confirmed yet. And a quarterback, number 35.
Adam Capitelli. I think everybody thought...
Yeah, Capitelli kept going. Got close to a first down.
I think everybody thought he got tackled in the backfield and kind of stopped, and all of a sudden he came through.
Yeah, Capitelli did pick up the first down. Capitelli came in a little bit late in the second quarter of play, near the halftime. Now Adam Capitelli back in. They announced the 50-50 winner at halftime, and somebody just claimed. I was kind of hoping we might be able to get in on that, by a late
put in a motion that if nobody claimed it, we split it up here in the box, but didn't get very far with that one. They just kept calling numbers. Of course, half the crowd went home, so that's probably why the winner. Oh, there's a fumble.
Snap, but Capitelli getting it back, but he's going to be smart.
Well, he got about 3 yards.
Did manage to get the fumble back.
Coach Andy Palladino down here sending in some reserves. He's looking the sidelines and trying to find somebody that maybe hasn't got in the game yet on defense here. 9 minutes to go. And both teams have a lot of white jerseys, clean jerseys in there, so we know that they're getting their initial experience.
Like I said, Cavatelli actually picked up a couple yards on that fumble. So he got it back and got forward for a couple. Here's the draw play.
Josh Hayes.
And Hayes with good yards. It's going to be close to a first down.
Short, I think, Rick. They got to get to the 30 or just over it. Looks like he's about on the 29.
Caledonia after the punt starting back at their own 10. Cavatelli with a carry for a first down, and now a couple running plays. Caledonia luckily 3rd down and 1.
And here again, you're going to see Caledonia's probably going to pretty basic. Just let these guys get some experience, you know, run their basic offense. They're not going to try any fancy stuff, I don't think.
Caledonia 3rd down and 1.
There's a flag. Somebody leaned in the backfield there.
Hayes would have the first down. Lost the penalty going against Caledonia.
Right halfback moved before the snap, so it's going to come back.
And the walk-off going against Caledonia. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 6.
I'm going to have to ask you who you're picking in the World Series here. We always have
Atlanta.
a little baseball. Is that based on baseball or just their hatred of the Yankees?
No, hey, it's the right city, it's just the wrong team. Cavatelli going to keep it rolling to the right. Trying to cut back inside. He's going to get.
I think he got the first down, maybe.
Real close, I'll tell you that. Cavatelli did a nice job again, cutting it back inside.
They spotted over, man. It's right on about the 30, so it's going to be close. I think they'll probably go for it.
Well, they gave him the first down. Don't have to worry about
Don't have to worry about it. Okay.
Now pick Atlanta in 6. What's yours?
Well, I'm a diehard Yankee fan.
I know you are, but now don't pick with your heart. What do you really think?
Why? I mean, I won every 15 years. I get to pick with my heart. Next 15, I might not be here, so I got to take them now.
Yeah, well, at least they're there, unlike some other team from New York. First down, Cavatelli back to throw, getting the pass away down the right side, just overthrown.
Showed a good arm on that throw.
Jeremy Foster, the intended receiver, streaking down the right side, pass slightly overthrown. Stopping the clock with 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the 4th quarter of play.
Adam Cavatelli's only a freshman. He said he's Matt's brother, and he displayed a good arm on that toss right there. Of course, he did have some time, which Ryan Zimber didn't have much of in the first part of the game.
Incompleted pass, leaving Caledonia with a 2nd down and 10, running out of the I formation. Cavatelli, play action pass, slipping, now getting the pass away, and it's incomplete. Knocked down by LeRoy's number 13, Scott McKenzie.
You can tell that their footing was bad out there because when Cavatelli rolled out, he slipped, and when the receiver started to stop, he fell down almost too.
Third down. Cavatelli on the draw play. Hayes with the ball, looking for some running room, slipping a little bit. And Chad Clark on the far side along with McKenzie to knock him out of bounds. Now Caledonia going to be left with 4th down.
Caledonia punts it here. They still lack about 3 yards of getting the first. Let's see what they decide to do. They may go for it. Ball's almost up to midfield. There's 7 minutes to go in the game.
So Caledonia with a 4th down play coming up. 4th down and about 2, and it looks like they are going to go for it. Gabatelli handing off to number 33.
Hayes? Is that Hayes or
I
Brand?
think it was Matt Brand. Looked like 33. And it is Matt Brand. Matt Brand picking up the first down. Getting it out to about the 48-yard line.
That's the first down.
Minutes, 30 seconds remaining. LeRoy on top of Caledonia, 35-6. Gabatelli with the quick drop. Pass, how's it going to be ruled?
It looks like they're going to call it an interception, yep.
No, going to say it hit the turf.
One guy said it hit the ground, you're right.
Danny Laurie, number 77, almost with the interception. But one of the officials saying it skipped off the turf.
I thought it hit the ground, but the guy coming from the backside couldn't see it. He was going to give him the interception. He was already to signal first down, and then the other official came running in. I thought it was off the ground, but it was a tough call for the guy in the back judge there. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. We're down to the last 16 of the game here.
Gabatelli is going to hand off. Fumble. And I think LeRoy's got that one.
We got a black shirt on that one. Number 57.
Number 57, Jeff Heimlich, coming up with the football for LeRoy. And LeRoy with another fumble recovery. So LeRoy getting the football back after the fumble recovery. First down and 10.
Counter
play. Palladino showing some pretty good quickness off the mark.
Nice game by Andy Palladino, hit by Adam Capitelli after about a 7-8 yard gain.
Getting to the hole pretty quick there after getting the handoff, and he picked up a quick 6 there.
About a good 6 yard gain.
Getting the ball back into Caledonia territory as they'll mark it at about the 46-yard line.
Well, I wouldn't be too surprised, Rick, if we see both these teams in the sectional finals in about 3 weeks. Even though Caledonia's been outmanned here tonight, I think once they get lined up in there's an offsides against Caledonia. They're lined up in the neutral zone. That's going to give LeRoy a first down. I think once Caledonia gets down into the D classification where they are as far as size goes, you know, they're going to be able to play pretty competitively.
Well, there's no question about that. I mean, their only loss before tonight was a 1-point loss to HFL, who's a big size school. And they come in here tonight playing LeRoy. And again, LeRoy bringing back quite a few players from last year's state championship team.
Like I said at the beginning, it's just like the opposite of last year's game as far as the position of the teams coming in, and it held true.
But again, coming up this Friday night, it all goes back to the second season, and you go from there. And as you said, Caledonia playing down in Class D. I'm sure they'll be one of the favorites to win, Section 5 Class D, and then go from there and see what happens.
I think they'll have a good chance at the sectionals. I don't know if they can go much beyond that. Number 40 carried that ball for LeRoy. First time in the game. Ikey Steyer with a nice run.
Just inside 5 minutes to go now in this football game. LeRoy with a first down and 10. Counter play again. Palladino this time, not much running room. He was hit by Caledonia's Joe Hughes. Loss of about half yard on the play. So LeRoy now just keeping it on the ground, keeping the clock moving here.
We're down to the last a little over 4 minutes to go here.
Here's the pitch going back to Clark. Clark trying to turn the corner left side. Clark's going to have the first down and more before he's finally knocked out of bounds inside the 10. So Chad Clark picking up the first down for LeRoy.
First down, and I think it's goal to go from about the 9.5 yard line. Just under 4 minutes to play. LeRoy second stringers trying to punch one in here.
They're spotting it just inside the 10. So it's going to be first down and goal for LeRoy. Here's Ike Steyer getting the handoff.
Short yardage there, nothing maybe.
Getting back to about the line of scrimmage. No, you never did give me your prediction yet either.
I'm taking the Yankees.
How many games?
As many as it takes.
That'd be 4. At least 4 wins, right?
Somewhere between 4 and 7. I am choosing with my heart. I think Atlanta's got an awful tough pitching staff, but when you're a Yankee fan, you haven't had a chance to root for them in a long time. You got to, you know, go with it. They've got a chance if they get a good effort from Cone and Pettit, and you know they've got a. The way Atlanta hit the ball in the last 3 games against St. Louis, though, it's kind of frightening.
Second down and goal for LeRoy. Palladino not getting much that time. Again, he's met by about 3 Caledonia players. That'll leave LeRoy with a third down and goal. We should mention again, Larry, that we'll be back in a few weeks as we'll head up to Faubourg for the finals. Well, again, any team
it'll be about, what, the second week in November? Let's see. This is, no, maybe earlier than that. First week in November.
3 weeks from tonight, right?
Okay, this is the, what, 18th? 25th? About November 9th, around that weekend?
Sounds about right, yep. So don't make any plans.
You're not going to bail out on me again, go to Syracuse, are you, like you did last year?
No, no game. Third down and goal for LeRoy. Handoff straight ahead this time.
Short yardage there, maybe down to about the 6.
I think it was Palladino again with the carry. It's going to leave LeRoy with a 4th down play coming up as Scott McKenzie brings it in from the sideline.
4th and goal from about the 6. Maybe they'll give it to Chad Clark. That was their best. Hey.
You know one thing with Clark, Clark's got some pretty good speed. So LeRoy, 4th down, ball close to the 7-yard line. We'll call it 4th down and goal from the 7. Wishbone formation behind quarterback Joe Loftus. Loftus pitching back to Clark. Clark's going to try to turn the corner. Clark knocked out of bounds at about the 4. So they went short side with Clark trying to turn it. But Clark knocked out of bounds. And Caledonia holding, they'll get the football back. So the clock stops with 1:45 to go here.
Vanessa Silver now report to the press box, please. Vanessa Silver now.
The one rule change too, Larry, with the change of possession issue. The clock does not start until the snap of the football. We're used to start right after they wound the clock up.
Short run there. I think we're going to see a couple more plays, and that'll be about it. And that's about right, because we're almost out of tape.
So LeRoy, I guess we better start winding it up now then. LeRoy jumping off to a quick 14-0 lead the first 4 minutes into the game. Right from the opening kickoff when Brandon Chauncey took it down to the 25. Pretty much controlled the game. Caledonia with a couple fumbles early. Couldn't get anything going. And again, we've said it, the offensive defensive line play of LeRoy was pretty much the story.
You summed it up, Rick. It was pretty obvious right from the first couple series on that LeRoy's line was going to dominate things, both sides of the ball. And Caledonia was unable to get anything going. And then, of course, they had a few bad breaks besides. But I'm not sure that the breaks were that decisive. I think LeRoy's line was more of a factor.
And a first down pickup there. But something tells me that there's a very good chance we're going to see Caledonia again in a few weeks.
We're going to have a tougher road, but I think LeRoy should have a good shot at making it to the finals without really a whole lot of stiff competition. But East Rochester could prove to be the big stumbling block in their season. That could be a 1-2 matchup in the finals.
I was going to say, if things go according to plan, we should see East Rochester and LeRoy in 3 weeks. Again, both teams having to play a couple games where you get there. You don't take anybody for granted. Long pass, and it's caught by number 80, Jeremy Foster. Foster might go all the way. One guy to beat. He's going to beat him. Touchdown, Jeremy Foster.
Another nice throw by Adam Cavatelli. So the Red Raiders see a little hope here in the youth of the team.